Hello everybody, I'm Chris and welcome to my channel. Today's video is another head-to-head this versus that. I did a quick side-by-side comparison of Baby Cat and Rosendo Matu number 5 a couple weeks ago, and I got a lot of feedback that people wanted me to do more of those quick side-by-side comparisons. Well, I have two fragrances today that a lot of people have asked me about. One runs around $300 and one runs around $30. I'm here to tell you, in my opinion, the differences and similarities between these two very beautiful fragrances, Meliora by Parfums de Marly and Amethyst by Lalique. So let's just get into it. So I think I'm just going to start with, why don't I just start with Amethyst? So I do have to thank one of my lovely subscriber friends, Mariana. She first sent me the tester, or a little decant of Amethyst, and I wore it a couple times and I actually wanted to wear it more and get a better sense of the fragrance. And so I ended up buying the bottle. So the reason why I went ahead and bought the bottle, this is about $35. I want to say I bought this on Fragrance X, and I think I paid $33. So guess what, guys? The perfumers of these two fragrances is the same. It's Natalie Lorson. So you already have that in mind. And I find that some fragrances that have a lot of similarities, when you dig around and look who the nose is, it's the same nose. So it's not a surprise that oftentimes many fragrances created by the same nose have a lot of similarities. And that's definitely the case here. So for Amethyst, let's start off with Amethyst. So in Amethyst, there are a ton of dark berries. There's blackberry, there's blueberry, blackcurrant, boysenberry, maybe. Just a lot of dark berries. And you get that in the beginning. But in addition to the berries, what I get is very much the roots and the twigs or the stems. So this is very fruity, but it's offset by a green and somewhat twiggy, I'm gonna call it twiggy, green and twiggy aspect of this fragrance. So it's not just a blast of fruits. There's very much like you have been picking berries you've been out picking berries in a field. You've got the remnants of twigs and leaves on your gloves, the gloves that you picked your berries. So this is a very big part of the opening of this fragrance. And by the way, the openings of these two is very different. So the middle part of this fragrance kind of transitions out of that twiggy, leafy, dark fruit aspect, and it goes very much into the florals. And I get rose and peony in here. I don't know what else is listed, but I get that kind of that rose peony combo. It's clean, verging on soapy, but it never heads into the soapy category. The dry down is where I think, well, the opening and the dry down are very different. So the dry down in this is very musky. So there's a lot of musk and there's some wood, maybe sandalwood, but it's woody, or maybe it's cedar. So it's very, very musky. So this has a musky, woody dry down with a little bit of florals, and the fruits have died down, but they're somewhere way off in the distance. Now, Meliora, on the other hand, let me get my bladder really quickly. So Meliora, now this one, okay, so this one was, which one came first? I want to say Lalique. I think Lalique was like 2006, 2008, something like that. This one was in, let's see, Meliora was 2013, so this one came next. And this one has black currant, but there's also very much a red berry. I get like a raspberry. So it's not as dark, so the berries aren't as dark. It's a little bit brighter, and there's definitely a red berry component to it. Maybe there's strawberry listed. I get more of a raspberry, like a red berry. There's definitely red berry. But this does not have like that overwhelmingly green aspect to it. It's not leafy, it's not twiggy at all. So that's the big difference between the two. Now, this one is definitely sweeter, less green, less twiggy, less barky. And there's something about it. This just has this smooth elixir quality. The Amethyst is a little scratchy, and it may be from the musk. This one is like a very clear, crystal clear juice. So it's smoother, there's no rough edges, it's a little smoothed out. So this one also does go into the middle notes. The middle notes are also floral. What I pick up is like a watery rose, like an aquatic rose. So this one is much more watery. Maybe there is a water lotus in here. I can't remember. I'll list the notes. But this one is less musky. It's still fruity. It's sweeter. And there's just something like a watery flower, as if there was dew on whatever flowers in here. Definitely rose. So like dew covered rose. It is a clean, I would call this clean, like it's a clean fruity floral. It's absolutely not soapy. Nothing soapy about this. So it's a very clean, sweeter, smoother, fruity floral. And in the dry down, this one has musk in the base, but the musk is much softer. There is a greenness. There's a teensy bit of greenness in here. There's cassis, which is the leaves of the blackcurrant plant. And there is something forest-like in here. There is something green and natural. There is a slight woodiness to this, but it's not as prominent as it is in amethyst. And as this dries down, the musk is not nearly as prominent. This still remains sweet. So the still is kind of sweet in the dry down, and it's less musky. So the big differences are in the opening. The big differences are in the dry down. They are still very similar because they have a lot of similar notes, but the main difference is the price. This one is about 10 times more. I think this retails for around $300, $330. It's astronomical. Whereas amethyst is priced ridiculously well at around $30, $33. So you get a very good perfume for about 10 times less. So do I think you need both of them? No. If you are on a budget and you like that type of fragrance profile, it's a no-brainer. It's amethyst all the way, particularly if you love musk. This is very heavy on the musk and a little bit more green notes. However, if you are not limited by your budget and you're not a huge fan of musk, you like your fragrances a little bit sweeter, but not soapy clean, you will probably like this one better. So if you already have amethyst, you in no way at all need Meliora. I would say they're about 60% similar. And other people will argue with me. I'm sure there will be people that say they're exactly similar. I'm just telling you my experience from wearing them side by side for at least 4 days in a row. Had I not worn them side by side, had I just tried them on paper or wore them separately, I wouldn't have been able to pick out the differences like I did. So if you're not wearing them side by side, they're probably going to smell something like 80 to 90% similar. So that's my quick take on the two fragrances, Amethyst versus Meliora, by the same perfumer. Oh, jeez. By the same fragrance nose. And if you like these type of videos, if you like me to do more of these comparisons, let me know in the comment section if you want me to do one big giant video of more affordable alternatives to expensive fragrances. Let me know in the drop down comments below, and I can definitely do that. I have plenty of material for that one. Hey, so guys, thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, I wouldn't mind a big thumbs up. Of course, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.